Hi, and welcome to Self-Care for Educators. I am your host, Dr. Tina Bogren, and this is episode 8 of our 5th season. And this episode is dedicated to introducing you to my latest book, 180 Days of Physical Wellness for Busy Educators. I am so thrilled that this book is officially out and in the hands of readers, and I just want to take a minute to kind of give you a little overview of it. So those of you that are familiar with the book that I wrote entitled 180 Days of Self-Care for Busy Educators, you will recognize a similar theme here, right? So in that book, I divided the school year into 4 seasons: the season of sacrifice, the disillusionment phase, finding balance, and ending strong. And I matched general self-care categories or invitations to each of those seasons. And that book by far has been my most popular, most beloved book. There's something I think that appeals to readers that's similar to listeners of this podcast in that I just give us one invitation to think about for the week. And so this book follows that similar format with one invitation per week, but this book focuses entirely on the educator wellness dimension of physical wellness. So the book that Tim Canold and I created together that kind of launched Wellness Solutions for Educators is entitled Educator Wellness. And in it, we explore 4 dimensions of wellness: physical, mental, emotional, and social. And in our original book, we outline the framework, we outline the 4 dimensions. Each dimension has 3 routines, and we give some sample strategies. But what we know is people are always hungry for more strategies, as am I. And so my mission is to create this series of texts that give us tons and tons of strategies for each dimension. So this first book focuses, as I said, on physical wellness. So every single strategy in the book is related to food, hydration, movement, sleep, and rest. The good ones, the big ones, the hard ones, right? What I want you to hear me say is that this is not a diet book by any stretch. Instead, it's a focus on habits and small little things that we can work on to help ourselves feel better physically. Because as we say in the Educator Wellness text, when we feel better, we are better. I always think of it as when we feel better, we act better. And so let me give you a sample of some of the strategies that I talk about in this new book. So when it comes to food, one of the weeks, the invitation is to eat without distraction. No distractions. And that is harder than it sounds, I will say. So one of my core values is integrity. And so I would never ask you to do something that I don't work on myself. It doesn't mean that I'm perfect at it, but there's research behind the strategies. Every single one of the strategies has research to support it, and I share it in the book. And then I give us a week to think on it. What's different in this book is that I don't talk about the 4 seasons, simply because what I found in the original 180 Days text is people got all thrown off if they bought the book and they weren't able to start the first week in the season of sacrifice. So this book, you can start day 1, week 1, at the start of the school year, or you can just start it whenever you get the book. That will be your week 1. And the strategies are scattered. So it's not like I do a whole slew of just the food strategies together and then the hydration. Instead, we kind of bounce around because to me, that's an easier approach to habit change. Now, I do present a table in the front. So let's say that you really want to just focus on your movement. Then you have easy access to knowing which weeks focus on movement, so you can dive into those. What is different in this text? So first, every single strategy is related, as I said, to physical wellness. But the other piece that I really love is embracing this all or something thinking. You know, we kind of get caught in all or nothing thinking, meaning that when we have to do it perfectly or not at all. And so to embrace the all or something thinking, each week I give you a standard invitation, and then I give us a way to dial that invitation up If maybe it's a strategy you already do, or feeling on fire, we've got a little more time, or it's an area that we really want to give it our all. And I give us a way to dial that invitation down. Meaning, here's the bare minimum, the BAM, right? The bare acceptable minimum, or the bare minimum. three little letter word in there that starts with A, of just do this itty bitty baby step, call it good, and keep going. That is hopefully going to nudge us to, week after week, pick the book back up, grab that invitation, and give it a try. I so hope that this book finds its way into your hands and that you're able to play around with these strategies. I also, in this book, give us kind of a way to hold ourselves accountable. There's kind of a tracking our progress sheet that works with the invitations that works for. I do provide that accountability if that works for you. You know yourself well. You know yourself better than anyone else to know if that's something that works for you or not. Like the other book, you are absolutely free to do it totally on your own. You can do this with a friend, a loving accountability partner, a team, a school. There's lots of ways to dive into it. And I just am so excited for this to get out into the world and into your hands. And I think the timing of it is great. So we're approaching these last kind of final weeks of the year. And this is a time where many of us are like, you know what? Forget it. I'm just going to start fresh, especially with physical wellness on January 1st, right? We know year after year, the number one New Year's resolution is always about saving money. And then right after that, boom, 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 it's physical wellness goals that we have. So why wait until January 1st? Get the book, start getting some habits in place so that when you wake up on January 1st, you don't feel like you're in a deficit. You feel like you're already started. You feel like you've got some habits in place that allow you to move into 2025 feeling really good and really proud of yourself. I so hope that you consider getting the book. It's available on Amazon. It's available via Solution Tree. It's available via Marzano Resources. And I'd love to hear from you, to know what's resonating with you. If you try it, what strategies stand out. It's always this phase right now where the book is out in the world and people are just getting started with it. And I'm just so curious to know what you think, right? What's working for you, what you think of kind of the different format. I'd love to hear from you. I'm so excited. I'm so excited about this book. I've gotten a lot of certifications that bring me a bit more expertise in this area than I once had. And so these strategies really feel solid to me. And I hope they do to you as well. Make it a great week, you guys. As always, thank you, Adrienne. Thank you. Thank you, Marzano Resources and Solution Tree. And thank you, my Badass Self-Care Squad. I hope this book finds its way to you and that it feels meaningful and relevant, and that you feel my hand on your back as you move your way through the contents of it. I love you guys.